Have you ever felt like you're working with a brilliant consultant who has amnesia? You know, one day they're a total genius, and the next they have no idea who you are? Well, today we are fixing that. We're going to talk about the exact moment AI stops forgetting and starts actually learning. So level up, study buddy, let's build.
Right? Story, once upon a time. I mean, just think about it. You spend all this time teaching your AI assistant exactly what you need. You're giving it feedback, you're correcting its mistakes, and you finally get it just right, and then poof, it forgets everything the next day. It's the core frustration for so many of us.
Literally every single morning, it wakes up with a perfect memory of the entire internet, but a complete blank slate when it comes to you. Your projects, your preferences, that feedback you gave it yesterday, it's all gone. We call these stateless bots. They can't carry information or state from one chat to the next, so they're incredibly smart, yeah, but they're stuck in this frustrating loop, completely unable to remember or grow.
Okay, so let's get into the weeds here. The real problem is how traditional AI is built. At its heart, it's just a super fancy word-by-word prediction engine. It's trained on this massive but totally static set of data. It's like it has the entire textbook memorized, but it can't learn a single new thing from a conversation in the classroom.
And this right here is the critical weakness. If the world changes, if you introduce a new variable, the AI just breaks. It cannot adapt on the fly because its knowledge is basically frozen in time from when it was first trained. And that's exactly why it feels like you're starting from scratch every single day.
But what if the AI could learn from experience, just like a person does? Well, this is where Agentic AI comes into the picture. This is the game-changing fix for that whole amnesia problem, allowing an AI to finally adapt, improve, and remember.
And the engine that drives all this change? It's a process called reinforcement learning, or RL for short. The best way to think about it is like you're training a puppy. The agent, the AI, tries an action. It sees what happens, that's the feedback from its environment, and it learns whether that led to a good result, like a treat, or a bad one. And over time, it just gets better and better at making the right decisions.
So the whole magic is in this learning loop you see here. It's a constant cycle. First, the agent takes an action. Second, the environment gives it some feedback. And third, based on that feedback, the agent adjusts its strategy for next time. It's not just following some static, pre-programmed instructions anymore. It's a dynamic process of learning through trial and error.
Now here's where it gets really cool. There's this idea called the reflection pattern, or self-healing logic. So imagine the AI writes a piece of code and it fails. Instead of just giving up, it actually evaluates its own mistake, figures out what went wrong, and then automatically changes its plan to try again. It's like a student who reviews their own homework, finds the mistakes, and fixes them before turning it in. How cool is that?
And the results? They're absolutely stunning. Just look at this chart. On its very first try, the agent gets it right only about 45% of the time. But after going through that self-healing loop 50 times, learning from every single mistake, its success rate skyrockets to 99.5%. That's not just an improvement. That's total mastery, learned entirely through experience.
This brings us to a really profound shift in how we're going to interact with this tech. We are literally moving from a world where we program an AI, giving it rigid, step-by-step instructions, to a world where we coach it, guiding it as it learns and develops brand new skills on its own.
Let's break it down like this. Traditional AI is the textbook. It has all the knowledge, but it's static. It can't learn anything new until a new edition comes out. But Agentic AI? That's the apprentice. It starts with the textbook knowledge, sure, but it learns from hands-on experience, it self-corrects based on your feedback, and it actively develops real skills over time.
I mean, think about it, right? A human apprentice might mess up a task on Monday, but because they listen to your feedback and learn from that mistake, by Wednesday, they're doing the job perfectly. That is the new reality we're walking into with AI. It's a dynamic partner, not just a static tool anymore.
But hey, don't just take my word for it. This isn't some far-off theory. This stuff is already being used out in the real world, right now.
So, are you ready to see the proof for yourself? All right, here's your mission. I want you to go to Notebook LM and feed it this exact prompt. Ask it for 3 practical examples where reinforcement learning or these self-healing loops have improved performance in huge fields, like algorithmic trading, software testing, or even healthcare diagnostics. You're going to see just how powerful this really is.
So the big takeaway today is this. The era of AI with amnesia is coming to an end. We're now building partners that remember, adapt, and grow right alongside us. The question isn't if AI can learn like us anymore. The real question is,
What incredible new frontiers are we going to explore together now that it can?
And that's a wrap on today's deep dive. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Study Buddy with Notebook LM. It's your daily guide to the intelligence revolution. Stay agentic.